Hey, Tom Cook with Selling to the Moon. Getting a lot of questions around, hey Tom, I've heard you say that it only takes you 4 dials to get an appointment. That seems really good. How are you doing it? It's a great question, and I would tell you that the secret in that is that by the time I make my dial, I already know a few things. I don't think of it as a cold call. Maybe the first time that I've ever called them on the phone, but it's not going to be the first time that I've contacted. Typically around, now I've always worked in an area where I live, maybe 2.5 hours drive anywhere, which allows me to stop in and prospect in person, leave a card or a leave behind, and potentially speak to a gatekeeper who I may be able to follow up with. That's number one. Number two, I've also qualified exactly who I'm going to call, so I don't have to fumble around with the gatekeeper and say, hey, can you get me to the person who's in charge of such and such, right? I already know who I'm going to call because I've prospected on foot and I've talked to that person already. Also, I may have sent an email or a LinkedIn request to the person already. So I've done 2 or 3 things to what I call prime the pump, so that when I actually call, even if they didn't get the business card or the leave behind that I left, even if they didn't get the LinkedIn that I sent them or the email that I sent them, in my mind, it's not a cold call anymore and it sets me up for success. So when I get them on the phone, I can say, hey Jim, glad I caught you. This is Tom from such and such. I was in last week. I spoke with Melissa at the front desk and she thought that the 2 of us should connect. Wanted to get on your calendar for next week. What time works for you? Tom, can you refresh my memory? What is this? Oh, like I said, Jim, I talked to Melissa last week. I left my card. I've also hit you up on LinkedIn. I think we can help you with this. I promise it's not going to be a waste of your time. I would come out in person because your business is definitely important to me and I think I can help you. Do you have your calendar in front of you? What time works next week for you? I'm looking at Tuesday. All right, great. So that conversation is what leads to the 4 dials, right? It's about not necessarily the dial. It's about what I did prior to making that dial, and that's what allows me to have success. Hope this helps. Have a great day and look forward to answering more of your questions.